Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be going over a video of taking you from VRoid all the way to Mikoverse. In this video we'll be using a couple of things. First of all, you need VRoid Studio, and we're also going to be using Unity with plugins. Don't worry, I'll link those down below and I'll go over how to install them when we get there. And third, we'll also be using Blender. These are all required in the setup I've done to make it work. Each their own. There might be some people who are good with one thing, some with another, and some things are optional. But I'll let you know as soon as they come up. This is all being streamed live on twitch.tv/Smithy. So there might be times when I'm a bit weird, but let's go to it. I'm also going to be going through the Warudo setup. This is individual basis. Some people use Warudo, some people use VC Face and all that, which is hand tracking like this and face tracking like this. And then finally, you need Mikoverse, obviously. Few little things. Unity is mainly used in this case for swapping over blend shapes. So in Mikoverse, you need a certain type of blend shapes for your face. And in VRoid Studio, you don't use the right blend shapes. You need to swap them from VRoid blend shapes over to ARKIT Blendshapes, and that is what we'll be doing in Unity. In Blender, we'll be fixing the face shape stuff so that it works in Mikoverse, and also I'll be showing how to add custom clothing and stuff to the models so you can import it into Mikoverse if you want, or you can just go in fully clothed with the model. It's completely up to you, but I'll explain that to you as we go along. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you can, come join me over on twitch.tv/Smithy. Okay, YouTube, as you can see, we are now in VRoid Studio. The thing that we're up to right now is making a model. Simple as that. Go in, create new model, choose whether you want a feminine outlook or a masculine outlook. Doesn't really matter too much, at least from what I'm aware. I choose masculine, but pretty sure it works for feminine bodies because otherwise it'll be perfectly fine. My advice is go in, take your time, customize it completely. I'm just going to quickly make a quick model to do random. I recommend you pausing the video or coming back to the video at another time once you've made your model so that you're happy with it. If you've already got a model, fine, you can skip this step, and when we go on to the next step, it'll be perfectly fine. There's a quick thing that I will say though is it's very important when you are exporting from top right, there's like a box with an arrow pointing up, and export as VRM. There's a very important setting that I need you guys to make sure is done. Under the reduce polygons tab, there's a tick on the delete transparent meshes. Ooh, I can't speak. What I'd say is, if you are sure that this is the model you want, to actually swap from the VRoid Studio face sets, like the blend shapes on the face, over to ARKit blend shape, you need to untick this for your export. And when you do that, it allows you to use a free method of transferring the blend shapes from one model to another. And I'll go over that a bit more in a minute. Okay, so once you've exported, fill in all your information. Make sure it is a VRM 0.0. This makes sure everything works perfectly fine, and I'll see you over in Unity in a minute. Okay, here's an important step for myself, not so much for everyone else. However, if you are in Mikoverse and you want to actually be able to swap in and out of clothing and stuff using the wardrobe system, or even in Warudo and you want to swap in and out of clothing using the mesh, my advice is after you've done this step, go back into the VRoid Studio file that you exported it from, and my advice is remove all clothing apart from the inner bottoms and the inner tops, simply because it'll be easier for you to swap in and out of clothing without worrying about conflicting of items. I'll quickly figure out exactly how to do that and show you in 1 second. Okay, I've figured it out. What you need to do is to remove the clothing. It's the same steps as before. What you need to do, you need to go to these circles on the top, the bottoms, and the socks and shoes. Inner bottoms and inner tops, whatever you choose is fine. This is basically just to have some sort of texture so that it doesn't look like you've got no clothes on. However, what you need to do from here is the same as before. Just export, export VRM, and then make sure you do click delete the transparent message. This is very important, and make sure it's unticked because it stops the plugin that we're going to be using in Unity from working altogether. So now that we've done these 2 steps, which are very, very important, we need to go over to Unity now and actually set up Unity ready for it to work. So we'll do that next, and then we'll go from there. Hello, we are back to doing the Unity portion. I'm just going to quickly show you Unity up in the background. As you can see, behind me is Unity. It is a clean slate. I thought it's best to do it straight from scratch to show you how to set up the environment ready. I'll do the same in Blender when we get to that portion. The main reason I want to do that is I made another video similar to this and I didn't include that, and I thought it's best to do it step by step to make sure everyone is not running around like a headless chicken, because that's what I was like when I was figuring all this stuff out a while ago. So I thought if we showcase it all, I'll have less chance of errors going wrong. But there's a chance of me going wrong, and if so, just blame me. Okay, the first step doing all this is doing one thing, and it is going to GitHub, which many of you have probably heard of. And I'll show you this quickly. What the page you should be going to is, it is called UniVRM. It is a Unity VRM based plugin type deal. All you need to do is you need to come to the page and see, as you say, I'll link it, don't worry, it'll be in the description. But UniVRM, and you'll scroll all the way down to this Unity package here. Make sure you install VRM 0.x because that is the type of model we have. This is just to make sure there's no errors or anything like that. If you've got a 1.0, it will not work on Mikoverse at this current moment in time. So do VRM 0.0 to make sure everything works just fine. Then all you need to do is download it, and then we'll go from there. If you want, pause it until it's finished downloading, but it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Then the first thing you need to do is, once you have it, you need to go over to Unity, as you see here. You need to go into Assets, and then you need to go down to Import Package, and then you import Custom Package. Wherever you saved the thing, you need to go to that location, which I'm going to do. You shouldn't be able to see. That is exactly what I'm going to do. And import the UniVRM package. Wherever the most up-to-date one is that you've got, you just need to open it. Give it a minute, it'll take a while for it to all import. Make sure everything is ticked and import it all. Once it has been imported, which will take a while, it is currently happening for me. Some stuff that'll occur at the very top up here on my Unity, which you cannot see, which is awkward. As you'll see at the top bar for yourself, there's a long way file, edit, and all those are across the top of your screen. There'll be new stuff called UniGLTF, VRM0, and so on. So the first step that I'd do is, first of all, so you don't get confused, I'd create a new folder just called models. And in here, what you're going to do is, you're going to once again find the model you're after, drag and drop into where this model thing is, and there you go. So this will be your model that is being imported. And then once your model has been imported, drag and drop this one with the square box and a T-posing of yours, drag it into the left thing, and it'll show up over here. This is step one. You've got your own model in, all good to go. Now, this next step is very sort of hard to do for yourselves if you are unsure of what you are doing, because it is once again installing something else. This time, it'll be on Ko-Fi. It is a plugin that I found which is a free alternative to the HANA tool, which other people have used in the past. It is from Ko-Fi. It was created as a free alternative to the HANA tool. It has all the things you need in it, and it is very simple once you understand the process. If you don't understand the process, it can be very confusing. That's why if you follow along here, the creator of it has also made a walkthrough on how to actually do it. But what you need to do on this page is type 0 here, get now, and it'll ask you for your email address. Then you will get an email link over to where you can download. So in your emails, after you've sorted all this out, go to a link in your emails, click on the link from Ko-Fi. Then all you need to do is download 2 packages from the list that shows up. The first one is called Neblite version 1.22.unity package, and another thing called reference mol for 1.27.0 and later.vrm. These are the 2 important things that you need to actually import. You need to download, and then we'll import it into Unity in a second. I'll see you back in Unity. Okay, we are back in Unity, as you can see. All those files you've just downloaded, only 2. It's only 2 files. They shouldn't take forever. It should be relatively quick because the packages are generally condensed. It'll probably take longer to download the VRM model the way it goes. The big important thing is now is take your time. Make sure to get it right the first time so you don't have to redo it all. Another note that we need to have, this model should be the model without close. I'm only using this model with the one with close because it's easy for me to do. But in the future, it'll be better for you to do the one without close for your own personal gains and all that stuff. So first of all, create a new folder which will be for the reference model. Call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it reference model, and I might have spelled that wrong because I was thinking of how to speak, because sometimes you need to do that. Just drag and drop it in so it shows up here. The reference model is easily done. Drag this in, and then that's good. You've got your model and the reference model. Then the final step in all this is you need to once again go to Assets, Import Package, and go to Custom Package. This time you're not going to import the UniVRM because you've already got that. You need to go to where you have installed the neblite package, because it is very important for you to install this. This is the thing that makes it work. The reference model, make sure to import everything. The reference model is what helps you transfer the shapes. So once this has been done, go back to Assets, and you've got this neblite folder. You need to go in here and drag this underscore neblite into the left bar once again. This is a way for you to transfer the source model and the target model between each other. So what it'll do is, if we go to our guy and we go to face and we come to blend shapes, you see all these blend shapes here. These are the blend shapes that are built into VRoid Studio. They work for most VTuber software and things like that. However, to get them to actually transfer over to Mikoverse, it's not currently included. However, the nice thing about the ARKIT Blendshapes is it allows for a lot more of an expression and things like that in comparison to the VRoid Studio stuff. Whereas this reference model on the face, as you can see, it's categorized nicely. It's got brows, got all these different blend shapes. So the idea is this neblite tool, the source model and the target model. So the source model is this. So what you need to do is you need to, on the far left, you've got these listed. So the reference model, you want to click on neblite and then you want to drag the reference model into source model and testing and the testing model into target model. And now if everything you've done right, you should not get no error here. All you need to do is click copy blend shapes. And then a pop-up will come up. 174 blend shapes have been copied successfully. And then to make sure you've done everything right and you've got no error, you need to go back to this drop down and click face. And then as you see, all these expressions have been copied over and you are done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The only error you might get is because when you exported from VRoid Studio, you forgot to untick the remove transparent blend shapes. If that is the case, go back to VRoid Studio and re-export it so that it has the transparent meshes unticked when during the export. Sorry. So this is the only part for Unity. If you need to know how to do this, just come back, copy it for every model that you ever need to do. You should only really need to do it for the one model that you're going to be using as the model. But your clothing models and stuff like that, you don't need that. You can make as many different clothing models as you want, because I'm going to show you how to take those clothes off that model and put it onto the model that you're going to be using inside Mikoverse. But that is for the next part during Blender. One quick note that I did forget, after being concise the one time, the next thing you need to do is you need to go to the VRM0 at the very top of your bar, where file, edit, and so on is. At the top there's VRM0, and choose your model and make sure to export VRM0.x. And once you've, all you need to do then is click on export. You can fill out all the information as you want, but all you need to do is export it, and then we'll be using that export in Blender. So thank you, and we'll go over to Blender right this second. Okay, welcome back to the Blender portion. Quick note for anyone who has come this far, if you want to separate clothing and the model, I recommend you go back to the clothing model that you have exported and make sure you actually do keep that delete transparent meshes ticked for that one only, but make sure that the actual model that has the new blend shapes that doesn't have the clothing on keeps that unticked. It is very important for future stuff, but otherwise don't worry about doing just the blend shapes. If you are just doing blend shapes at this stage, it is perfectly fine. First step is to go to edit, preferences. You won't be able to see this window. Go to add-ons and type in the search bar VRM, and you need to tick on the box called import export VRM format. There's a drop down of all the things, and you can have default stuff. So I've done that, and then I've sorted all that out. The first step is to check to see whether this is working. You go to File, Import, and you see VRM. It is working. If you don't see VRM, I recommend restarting the Blender file, or even just restarting Blender in general, and then trying again. If that doesn't work, I cannot help you. I am very sorry. I recommend searching around to figure that out. I'm very sorry about that. Otherwise, import VRM. Import your VRM that you've just made. The one that had the blend shapes, because this is what we are doing first. So, blend shapes. It'll take a while to load, and then there's this important site that is very important for the blend shapes. I'll link it in the description. It is called ARKIT Now, the main reason this is important is if you want to check first of all on face, and you go down to this location on the far right behind my head, there's a green thing here, as you can see, and you click on this green thing. You've got vertex groups and you've got shape keys. Shape keys are the things that you have just transferred over in Unity. If you scroll down and you see all these, you are so far correct. But the next step to make sure everything is working is you go over to the arrow up here next to this thing, there's a small little arrow that you want to click on, and this menu pops up. And then you go over to VRM, and then at the very bottom of this VRM, there is a blend shape proxy. Well, middle of this VRM thing is blend shape proxy. Make sure you expand that. And you've got all these AIU. These are all connected to VRoid model stuff, not the ARKIT Blendshapes. So click on the minus on all of them. I like to keep the neutral one just to play it safe. Then the important thing is you've got these linked with a list of every single ARKit blend shapes. It gives you a lot more variety of expression, and it also makes it compatible with Mikoverse. And I like to use it for Warudo and also for Mikoverse because it allows for better expressions and everything. So first of all, you copy this on the far right on the website. You see on the far left, sorry, of the website, there's brow inner up. Copy that. Then you go back over to Blender, and under the blend shapes proxy, you click on this plus sign. And then you make sure to click on the new unknown icon here. And then on the far right of the screen, right above my head, as you can see, there's name. You want to paste what you copied, brow inner up, the name. And then in binds, you want to click a plus sign, and you go to mesh, and then you go to face. Then you go to shape key and you paste that again and choose the exact name of it. Now that is how you do it for each and every single one of these in the ARKit Blendshapes website. This links the correct stuff together so that when your eyebrows raise, your eyebrows on the model raises, and so on. This is very important for it to work in a lot of face tracking VTuber programs. So this is what you should do. This allows it to work in Warudo, that then allows it to work in Mikoverse. But this is a part that is now done. You need to go through every single one of them on the website and complete them. From here, all you need to do is go and sort out Warudo, but then sort out Mikoverse. If you are going to continue on from here and want to sort out all the clothing, once again, let me just forewarn you, it is not important if you don't want wardrobes. You could have done all this with a fully clothed model. Okay, YouTube, you will not have seen this. However, I have been through a 2-hour search and find to try and fix this because this step in the process has been broken. It has now been fixed by me, and it was something very simple, but one of the last things you always seem to think about, and it's called Update in Blender. So if you want to make sure flows and things like that work, my first step in all this is make sure your Blender is up to date with version 4.2.1. Then, once you've done that, come back to the video. The next step after that is go to a link I will show you. It is a link to a VRM add-on for Blender. It'll be in the description. I won't show it you currently, but if you type in VRM add-on Blender or go to the link in the description, you will find it. Then, once it has been downloaded, you need to go to Edit, Preferences, and go to this little, there's like a little down arrow on the far right of the add-ons section, and Install from Disk. And you need to install from disk because there's no community add-ons. And then make sure you type in the search bar VRM and tick. To make sure this is working, you can go up to File, Import, and see VRM. Now I'm going to make a empty scene, and we will start one last final time. After the 5th time of me recording this, should work based on the things I have researched. So you can import VRM. You go to the VRMs we made earlier, the one from Unity and also the one from having a clothing. You can have as many of the ones as you want from clothing, but it'll just take you more time. Now we go into File, Import. Let's do the one without clothing real quick, and then we'll import the one with clothing after. Okay, this one has no clothing, as you can see. collisions, armature, whatever. Next, I'm going to import one with clothing, which is the first one I sorted out. And we will see how this works. 4.121 seems to crash a lot more, but it's a lot faster to respond at the same time. Interesting. Once again, line everything up. Fine. Close enough because it gets messed up anyway in a minute. And once again for me, it's the first time for you guys, but hide everything else apart from body. Then you go click on the body of the clothing item, click on edit mode, go to the mesh and separate by materials. This will separate everything out to be its own individual item. Now, go through these and sort of categorize them. So this item, make sure to go to object mode first. You go to this item, this is the body, you can delete that. This is a weird scalp thing, you can delete that. First one is shoes, so I like to put dot shoes, so it stays at the top. Then I've got body, bow tie, and shirt. I'm gonna link shirt and the body together by doing object join, disconnect them both, and then we're gonna do the suit top. Then we go to bow tie, and we're just gonna call it top bow tie. And then final one's the pants. Top pants. All these are done, so select them all and shift drag them over to the scene collection. Then you can delete the rest of the armature that you originally had and delete the colliders box as well. Now you've got an armature, a body, a face, and hair. Make sure to select all these items and once again lower them down so they fit the body as I have done here. Okay, next, you go into the vertex groups and make sure to delete all groups. Delete all groups. I'm going to show you the proper way to do it, and then we're going to test another way. And if the other tested way isn't in the video, you know it doesn't work at all. But I know for a fact this one works. But it needs to be Blender version 4.21, and it also needs to have the most recent installation of the add-on. That's what it needs to be. Otherwise it doesn't work. Then next we shift drag into the armature the suit top. I'm doing one at a time this time just so we don't get confused. You go to add modifier, edit, data transfer, and once again same as before that I done that you didn't see, but I keep doing it, so I keep thinking I'm doing it again and again and again. So keep saying that. And then we go to generate data layer, make sure to click this, otherwise it won't generate it, and then drop down arrow, apply. Add one more modifier, go to deform, and then armature. Okay. And then this one, you just click the armature. This is for testing later, realistically. You shouldn't really need to do it in the grand scheme of things, but that's safe than sorry. So the final step of all this is actually doing the weight painting. So control click on these three things: body, your item, and armature. Then finally control click one more time on your item. Go over to weight painting mode, and then go to weights icon and transfer weights. Okay, once that's done, bottom left, something called transfer mesh data pops up. Make sure to click on that, and under source layer selection, which is near the bottom, one of the drop downs, click by name. And then hopefully, if your item stays blue, it means it should have worked. The way to check if it's worked is you go to object mode, you click on suit top or whatever item you are currently doing, then you go back to weight painting, then you go to your data menu and scroll all the way up till you find a body such as neck, and you can see on the blue it's starting to get like a heat signature to show that if you move that it should work. So now that is how you add weight per item. That definitely works. So if you want a surefire bet on how to do it, that is how you do it. So make sure that everything is working as you like it, because you can edit the weights later on if you really want to. I recommend you go to the armature at the very top, click pose mode, and just click on one of these and rotate. And as you rotate, if things move, I don't know what that red is, but as you say, everything is connected and it should work just fine. Now, what I will say is this can be very complicated, and I spent 2 hours trying to figure this out. Now, there's two separate ways to do it from here. For Warudo, all you need to do is you need to basically click on the armature, the whole thing. For Warudo, you can just export the full armature. So file, export, VRM, and then in my case, export selections only because I don't want like the bow tie and stuff to be exported because they're not working. And then you save that wherever you want. This is for Warudo only. But in the next step, I'll talk through Warudo and how it functions and things like that. Okay, now for Mikoverse, it is slightly different. Rather than doing the whole armature and VRM, you need to choose your actual items only. So in this case, it'll be suit top, then armature, pose, armature. Make sure all this is selected, and then you go to File, Export, VRM, Export selections only, and then we are good. That is all you need to do. Biggest struggle will quite literally be the weights and dealing with all that. But hopefully, if you've got this far, you've already done it and it's good to go. So, in the next section of this video, we'll be going over Warudo. If you do not use Warudo, you can skip ahead over to Mikoverse, which is even simpler than Warudo. I use Warudo. I used to use XR Animate and PC Face, but I found Warudo better for my personal usage. Hello guys, welcome back. This is now offline. I was streaming it beforehand, but now I am just doing Warudo settings. So I'll quickly show you what you need to do from that model that you've just made. The one that goes here is the one that is fully clothed, and I'll show you why in a minute. First things first, you go onto onboard settings, onboard assistant if you don't already have a model. Get started, choose the character, but if you're unsure how to find this, there's ways to add characters on this. In my way, I have already sorted stuff out, so I can't, but once you've went through that, I'll show you how to do it. So first things first that you do need, once you're in character, to actually get it to work properly, you need to go to motion capture, and you want to click yes, and I use media pipe. Media pipe is so you can have hands and face tracking. It also helps with setting up other things. You will want to go through this to set up media pipe. You'd want it for face and hands, basically. That's what you'll want. And then final one, the reason why you do the meshes is here you can go to pants and make them visible or invisible. I'll quickly show you the hoodie. Okay, well, that's the wrong one. I'll quickly show you real quickly. If I go to meshes and do site, for example, I can add it and remove it as well. That is just using the built-in meshes. So that's the first one that you do. The next one is you've set up motion capture. Following the prompts, you go to meshes. Once you've set up all this, you'll be media pipe tracker, and this is very important. These are my settings. You want to do anything you want. Do what's best for yourself on processing priority and GPU acceleration. That depends per person. face tracking you want yes, and calibrate eye movement, I'd say yes. To calibrate, you just click this button and it automatically calibrates everything. Very nice. I think it just sets you. I've got a button on my Stream Deck that does it for me. Configure blend shape mapping. This is very useful. You go through all these and make faces and figure out what's best for you. All these have different values and like it's basically figuring out the ratios that's best for you. Head movement intensity. Most of this stuff is just dependent on you. Just find what's best for your model and for yourself. All this stuff is important. Blinked eyes blinking, bones, movement, hands, hand tracking, yes. Calibrate hand tracking, you need to put your hand up to your ear and click that and all that sort of stuff to get it to do this. Then you need to edit your settings here. This is just a very quick overview of the things. Now the next thing is, once all this is all set up, you need to VMC send it so that you can access Mikoverse. So what you need to do is you click add asset and you go all the way down to external integration. So you click on external integration and you choose VMC sender. Now when you go to the VMC sender, by default, I'd imagine if you're watching this video you wouldn't have any like server or hosting it on a different computer, but that'll change the IP. But if you're hosting Warudo is the same computer as the Mikoverse, leave this as is. For Mikoverse, you want to change the port for 39539. This is mainly because of that's the default on Mikoverse, and every time I change it, it always goes back to this. So I just put other programs before Mikoverse, I always set to this. Then you need to choose what character you're going to send it to. You are using virtual mode, yeah, you should leave this off. So I'm not using that, so I turned it off. Because I am using Media Pipe Tracker, I've just set it up that. It's that easy. That's all you need to do. Set up your character, set up Media Pipe Tracker, or however motion. To be honest, any motion capture works, but in my case it's Media Pipe Tracker because I got hands, mouth, and everything pretty smoothly, and then VMC Media Tracker. That is all you really need for setting it up for Mikoverse. Apart from that, you've got all these things. These can be confusing, but these are all my Stream Deck stuff and keybands. But we'll go over to Mikoverse now and go over there. So I'll see you when I'm in Mikoverse. Okay, this is the final part of the video where we are going to be going over Mikoverse things. Currently, you have no audio, which is fine because I don't have any either. But the important thing is this section. Very simple. The most important things are testing. There is also the link method, but we're just going to choose local files for now and load them in to just get the test out of the way. You want to make sure test them all first. Takes a while to load sometimes. There is methods on my channel and also in the Mikoverse Discord on how to do the Google Drive method to host it online so other people can see your models. Same with the wardrobe functionality, which we are going to test now. I've already put my links in local file ready. Okay, confirm, put on the pants, confirm, and then this is how you test things. I recommend always doing local file first, and then later on, you move over to doing links online once you've figured it all out. Okay, a very important part when it comes to double checking things for the VMC server. Go into settings, general and advanced, just to double check things. It's always best to double check. Now finally, to enable VMC, you come over to here on the home and enable VMC. This is an older model, so I think it's a bit funky at the minute. I think I accidentally changed the settings since you last seen me, and there we go. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. It does work. I've just been messing around with it since I finished the last part of the video. So if you need any help, comment down below, or even go into the Mikoverse Discord. It's a very useful resource. A lot of the guys who are watching the live stream were from there and helping me out and just supporting me when I was bashing my head against the wall. So if you do want to come support me and watch me live, come over to twitch.tv/Smithy. Otherwise, hopefully this helped. If there's a way I can improve it, let me know how. But I'm not really great at chatting away as I am as like free ball and like focusing on things like this. I find very difficult like planning stuff out, but I was struggling with it when I first learned, so I thought if I make a video so others can learn, it'll at least give them a better entry point into the space rather than being scared off by it. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, or whatever you want to do. I appreciate you guys watching. So thank you very much. Bye bye.